Hello, one, hello, all, and welcome to Federico Gymnasium for some boys volleyball action. Folks, the Bulldogs hosting the Central Knights. Revenge, redemption in mind, a huge game on hand. One of the Bulldogs' only two losses of the season at the hands in 5 games of these very Central Knights. So now, as the season moves along, every game matters that much more as we head closer to playoff time, folks. I am the voice, Greg Morano, alongside producer-owner Shane Belanger. We have Lisa behind the lens. We are Westerly.live, Westerly.radio, bringing you Bulldog sports, folks. It's getting to crunch time. Final third of the season, playoff implications. Do you make it? If you do, where do you play? That's what makes these games so important here today. That being said, the boys are on the court, ready to roll here. First matchup, like I said, it went the distance. Every game in the 20s. This is a very excitable night group, as you can see on the floor. Our Bulldogs very workmanlike, as they've been all season. I like their approach.
How's it going, gang?
As the Bulldogs enter tonight, there is only 6 games remaining in the regular season. They come in 7-2 in the league, in third place. First place is 91 Cranston West, right along with Barrington 8-1. The good news, the Bulldogs knocked off Cranston West in their first meeting. Again, they have to face Cranston West again. They also have to face Barrington again. So the road is not easy, but this game here is a big, big one. The officials, I'm not sure what exactly the delay is. They're getting the rosters ready, and now we have a volleyball in play, and the Knights are going to serve it up to get us started here, folks. Number 4, Josh Ramirez, their primary setter, is going to get things going. And Allen from the back. Kenyon with the kill, and the Bulldogs right off the bat, 1-0. Set to serve is Mendiola. And nothing but action in the next 2 weeks, folks, all over the sports spectrum. And the serve to the back line. Set, middle, spike attempt, blocked by Kenyon, 2 points on the board at the hands of Jack Kenyon and the Bulldogs, 2-0 lead. And Mendiola looking for another. To the back line again. And the Knights scramble and will dump it. And the Bulldogs do a nice job of recovering here. Forces the back line, carry, and the Knights will take it. Side out, 2-1. We expect this to be a battle here tonight. And jump serve by the Knights, a beauty handled by Allen. He's handled all sorts all year. And spike attempt to the back line, nice job by the Bulldogs, side out. And the point, 3-1. From here, the Bulldogs head to West Warwick on the 8th to get a couple days off, few days off, so those days are much more appreciated and are much better after coming off a big victory here tonight. The Knights sit right behind the Bulldogs with an 5-4 record in the league. And the set, kill attempt by the Knights. Allen with the save. Kenyon dumps it back over. Set for the Knights, a little behind. And Bulldogs try to dig it. Nice kill by the Knights, and the side out and point, 2-2. Number 7 set to serve for Central. Juan Feliz. And the serve to the back line, and a misstep by the Bulldogs. That'll even things up here at 3. And the serve, dive, nice serve, that's an ace, and that'll give Central their first lead of the night here in game 1. If you're just joining us, 4-3 Central lead. Bulldogs again looking for a little revenge here, one of their 2 losses of the season. through 11 total games played. 9 league games came at the hands of the Central team. And another ace. And that'll give Central 3 in a row here in a 5-3 lead. And a timeout quickly by Coach Beal and the Bulldogs before too much momentum is gained by the Knight. This production, folks, is brought to you in part by Wireless Zone Westerly, authorized Verizon retailer. Repair Zone, crack screen, new battery, we got you covered. Located next to Duncan at Dunn's Corners in Westerly. That's Wireless Zone. So as I was saying, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Only 6 games remain in the entirety of the season after tonight. Bulldogs come in third place, only by a game, having defeated Cranston West. It's really by a half a game with them. Barrington got the upper hand of Westerly. This could really put Central back a notch heading into the final 6 for the Bulldogs. Or it could put them right back in the middle of the mix. And this time the Bulldogs are able to handle it. Kenyon with his spike attempt into the net, it goes. That's going to be another Central point coming out of the timeout. 5-3 the score. Early on here in game 1 of this best of 5 matchup. And a nice serve. Handle. Bulldogs going to have to do a better job off the serve. Right now the Knights, and it's number 7, Juan Feliz, the middle hitter, having his way with 5 points straight and a 7-3 Central lead here in game 1. And this one into the net, tried to go soft with it, and got a little too fancy. Bulldogs will take the side out and the point, and Kenyon will get set to serve. And the jump serve, a beauty, handled by the Knights. A nice back set, and that is a beautiful play by Kenyon. Mendiola to Kenyon. Knights are able to handle it. And the bump by the Bulldogs. Mendiola with a set. Spike blocked, and the Bulldogs can't recuperate. Quick side out and point for the Knights. 8-4 the score. So it's a quick Knight team, definitely quick and athletic. This is our first time watching them play here. Very excitable and warm-ups and before the game. Allen with the bump. Kenyon tries to find a spot and does. Much needed side out. And point goes to the Bulldogs. Kenyon's on the bench, so that wasn't him. I don't have a straight roster of numbers and names that correlate for the Bulldogs. I know number 15 serving. Waiting for the whistle here. And we're off. As the Bulldogs handle it in the middle. And Mendiola dumps it over. Diving dig. And spike attempt, and the Bulldogs can't handle it. Knights with the quick slide out and point right back, 9-5. And Central's fans making a presence known in the gymnasium. And another nice service by the Knights, and the Bulldogs able to handle it. Nice job on the return. Knights right back at it, and that is out of bounds. And, it's going to be a Central point. They're pointing to Central. 10-5 is the score. Got called out. If it was truly out, then the Bulldogs would have the point. So it must have been overruled. And Allen handles it. Set, and the Bulldogs to the back line. And a little misstep by one of the Knights, tripped, and that's just enough for the Bulldogs to get the side out in the point, trailing only by 4, 10-6 here. As we make our way through game 1. And dual substitution by the Bulldogs. There's the whistle, and here's your serve to the back line. Set, and spike attempt blocked by the Bulldogs. Knights able to dig and forced to dump it over. Allen with a nice dig in the back, and a miscommunication. Lands in the middle. Both Knights take the point, and the 5-point lead. And here we go. All the Knights seem pretty quality in serving. Bulldogs almost another communication issue. Nice set, handled by the Bulldogs. And again, communication seems to be a problem. And Bulldogs handle it, and that time it falls their way as it slips between the hands of the Knight player. And the Bulldogs will get set to serve. And after a little bit of a sloppy start here by the Bulldogs, they only trail by 4. So Allen looks to get him ignited here on offense. And that's a whistle and a Bulldog point to hit. Carry, whatever it's called. Bulldogs will take it 11-8. And the serve by Allen. Drops in a tough spot, blocked by Kenyon, and the Bulldogs point. Brings them within 2. And they're doing it a lot like they did last year, very quietly. That Bulldog volleyball team last season quietly compiled a good record. They weren't in first place after the regular season. I believe they were in 4th or 5th, to be 100% honest with you, probably 4th. And made their way through the playoffs and within points of the state championship crown. And this team here can absolutely make it to those lengths. And a nice block by the Knights. Great net play on both parts. The Knights got the extra and the point, 12-9. Now, if this is a picture of a team that sits 2 games behind you in the standings, gives you any idea of the 2 teams that sit ahead. Some quality teams are out in this division. And the whistle on the Bulldogs carry, and the Knights get the point. And that'll give them 13. And that serves a missile and an ace. So service advantage to the Knights here in game 1, 14-9 the score. That would be, I guess, the difference in on-court just communication. Bulldogs started off okay, but have petered off a little bit. And to the net, nice bring back by Kenyon, and at the net, spike attempt blocked by the Bulldogs. Again, they get right back at it, this Knight squad. They recover their transition very quickly, very well. All over the court, they can get into a good hit. And another Westerly timeout they have forced. Both timeouts have been forced by Central, forcing Westerly to attempt to break momentum. These timeouts are only 60 seconds, so you can only do so much. But Bulldog looking to make a little bit of an adjustment, take a deep breath, communicate a little better, and it'll be all right. This production here today, folks, is brought to you in part by Valenti Subaru. Subaru sales and service located at Dunn's Corners in Westerly. Valenti means value. With over 90 years in the auto business, the Valenti family knows how to keep customers happy. Voted Retailer of the Year 2022 by Subaru of New England. That's Valenti Subaru. Back on the court are the boys. Getting ready to move things along here in 10 seconds. It is 15-9 Central in game 1. This is Westerly.live, Westerly.radio, bringing it to you. I am the voice, Greg Morano, alongside producer, owner Shane Blander. We have Lisa behind the lens, and we'll be bringing you the biggest games in the next 2 weeks through the playoffs here as this spring moves on and transitions quickly into the nitty-gritty next week. Into the net, out of the timeout, a much-needed side-out, unforced error. Take it however you can get it. And now Carmi Mendiola set to serve for the Bulldogs. Let's see if they can turn it into a little bit of a run and cut into it. Down by only 5. The serve to the back, not handled well by the Knights, but enough to return maybe. Yes, they are. Allen handles it. Mendiola's back set. Spike attempt, again kept in the air by the Knights, but a whistle and the Bulldogs take it. It would have fell in favor of the Knights had they not been whistled for the carry. Bulldogs, again, will take it. However, 2 in a row, 15-11. Mendiola set to serve again. And dug out of the back line, set to the top of the court, blocked at the net by the Bulldogs again. And whistle Bulldogs early. Oh, another carry by the Knights. And Bulldogs just like that, bang, bang, within 3. That's how much a timeout can do. A couple deep breaths, the right chosen words, which Coach Beal and staff are absolute magicians at. And that, as I say, that quick slide out into the net. But 16-12 to score. Coming out of timeout, so momentum breakers, like I would say, Coach Beal and staff are excellent at. And another unforced error, and the Bulldogs will take it. 16-13 as the Bulldogs set to serve. Back and forth a little bit now here in game 1. And I'm looking at the scores the first time they met. And like I said, both teams were in the 20s in every game. So neither team ran away from anything in any game. Blocked at the net. And Bulldogs look for another block. This was out of bounds anyway. Fortunately, they didn't. And the Bulldogs will get the point. As this officials looked a little bit bewildered a couple times here. This one works out, I do believe, properly. And the Bulldogs trail only by 2, 16-14. We're live. And the set, a nice one, spike attempt. That one hits the floor, side out, 17-14. Anyone's game here in game 1. And number 7 for the Knights, Felice, who went on about a 6-point serving spree on his last service attempt. And the Bulldogs limp their way through a return. They do not. They get a carry. And this official has been heavy on the carry calls here in game 1 on both teams, really. So players need to be aware of this. And it's 18-14, Knight advantage. And that drops early. Bulldogs, nice dig and nice play. Whistle, Bulldogs take it. Side out. More importantly, get number 7 out of the service position. Kenyon set to serve for the Bulldogs. Trailing by 3 here. And to the back line. Seem to always get a playable setup, this Knight team. And Mendiola tries to bring it in and is able to. The Bulldogs dump it over. And the Bulldogs put it to the net ground. Is there a net? No. Point goes to the Bulldogs. 18-16 now in game 1. And that is going to go the Knights' way. Nice play. Low set, quick one-hitter. One-timer, I guess you'd call it. And a nice serve, nice dig by the Bulldogs. Directly back over to the Knights, however, who immediately get set. Block at the net by the Bulldogs. And this time the Knights can't recover. Nice play at the net by Westerly. Set to serve here, down only 2. As they inch their way ever closer here. Playing a 25, win by 2. And they don't handle it well. The Bulldogs put their return down. Out of bounds, however, and no, inbounds. Off deflection off of a Knight, and the Bulldogs get the point and are within 1 point now. 19-18. And the serve, front line handles, set to the top, spike, a beauty, and that's going to be a side out and point for the Knights. And that makes it 20-18. Number 11, Barn, for the Knights. And jump serve out, just what the doctor ordered for the Bulldogs. Nice break, and it's 20-19 Bulldogs serve. Another opportunity to knot things up. It's been a while now. I think since 3-3, since they've actually been tied here. Bulldogs always been playing catch-up in game 1. And spike attempt goes deep. Was there a deflection? No. Point Westerly, and it is knotted up at 20. Race to 5, win by 2. Only game one, first timeout forced by the Bulldogs here. Couldn't be a better time. As I said, Bulldogs were ahead 3-2 when number 7 for the Knights went on a 6-point serving run, and Bulldogs haven't knotted it up since. They've been playing catch up since, inching their way, and they finally do have it knotted up. The Knights forced to call a timeout, and it is now a race to 5, win by 2 in this very exciting and evenly played game one. If this is any prognostication of how this night's going to go, it's going to be a long one, so buckle up. And the Bulldogs serve. Nice set by the Knights at the net, and the Bulldogs try to block it. It falls on their own side, and the Knights get it this time 21-20. Now there's no time to allow much of any kind of runs here. Bulldogs have, the Knights have the serve. And a beauty, is it in or out? The call, no, inbounds it goes. That's the ace. And it is a 22-20 lead here for the Central Knights. The whistle, and the Bulldogs need a side out now. Handled by Allen. A nice set, and an unfortunate spot. Too close to the net. Bulldogs stuck in between. 3 quick, vital points coming out of the timeout by the Knights. And right now, this is the turnover point here. Bulldogs need it. And off the net, they get the break, the Knights, and they put it down. Game point set for the Knights here in game one. On a 4-point run, it was just knotted at 20. Bulldogs worked their way all the way back to 2020. A timeout, and just like that, 4 straight for the Knights. The serve set by the net, and as the whistle, the Knights are going to take home game one by a score of 25-20. It was just 20-20 in the blink of an eye ago, and the Knights walk away with 5 straight quick points at the hands of number 16. And they have proven an admirable foe for the Bulldogs here tonight. Game one in the books goes to the Knights. We're going to take a quick break, folks, and we will be right back. Yeah. All right, all right, all right. And the boys break the huddle and take the floor for game 2. Looking a little bit dejected, I think. It happened in such a flurry at the end of game 1 that went to the Knights, folks. Bulldogs really did work their way. It took quite a while to work their way all the way back to knot it up at 20, and just like that, 5 quick points. But you gotta this volleyball best of 5. You gotta erase it, forget about it. That's what the Bulldogs look to do here, and turn the page as this athletic Knight team looks to do more of the same as they did in the first. I think it was a service advantage overall, I would say, but the transition offense of this Knight team, they seem to always be able to get a set off no matter where the ball seemed to be at. But that being said, the Bulldogs were neck and neck with them, and I'm looking at the scores from the first time they met: 27-25, 25-22, 26-24, 25-21. I mean, those all required 25 or more points, so these teams are quite even, and this could go either way. And we are set to start here, the Bulldogs, and we are live in game 2. A nice serve, but again handled well by the Knights. That flies far and wide, though. The Bulldogs take point number 1. We're back in action, folks, next Monday in a flurry. 2 big weeks, 2 busy weeks, determine how busy the couple weeks are after that, because that'll be the playoffs. And whether you're there or where you play, that's what these games are here to determine. The Bulldogs want to play at Federico Gymnasium. They got to take home some of these games. Out of bounds, and that point is going to go to the Bulldogs. 2-0 lead. Handled by the Knights into the net, and the Bulldogs will take 3. Just like game 1, they get that out to a 3-0 lead. 3-1 maybe. Carmi Mendiola, primary setter for this Bulldog squad. Team that's had a heck of a year thus far, 9-2. That one flies deep. 9-2 overall, 7-2 on the year. Again, a win today. They still remain in 3rd place by 1 game, but Central will have the 2-game head-to-head advantage. And they got to remember, into the net, the Bulldogs will take it. 4-1. You got to remember the Bulldogs have the likes of Cranston West again, who they did defeat. Barrington, who has 1 loss on the season, beat Westerly in 3 games. So still some quality competitors top of the division, above the 2 teams tied. And again, a nice set into the net, put it down by the Knights, take the point, 4-2. Bulldogs advantage. We are in game 2 of this best of 5 matchup. This production is brought to you in part by Kiefer's Martial Arts. Kids Karate, 2 free weeks and a free uniform. Exclusive offer for Westerly Live viewers. Use coupon code Westerly Live at checkout on KiefersMartialArts.com. And here's a service. Number 7, and now handled by Westerly. Out of bounds, he'll get the faulty ace, and that'll make it 4-3. Into the net, though, they'll take it. Absolutely, side out, point goes to the Bulldogs, 5-3. Up for Athlete of the Week, if you're into that thing, vote on the Westerly Sun, however you do that. I know Tyler Brayman's up for Westerly. Sophomore finished with 23 kills, 10 assists, and 3 blocks against first place Cranston West. It is Cranston West's only loss of the season. So Tyler Brayman is up 42% right now for Athlete of the Week. And a serve by the Bulldogs, 5-3 at the moment. And to the top of the screen, into the net, and the Bulldogs take the point. 6-3 advantage. And this Bulldog team certainly does not look shook at all from game 1. They look like they have let that one go without any issue. Nice set there on the bottom, and that's going to fly out of bounds. Bulldogs will take another 7-3.
What's it called? Ball went straight out of bounds.
7-4. Knights taken by Bremen. It's going to spike attempt. Falls. Beautiful point for the Bulldogs. Side out. Bulldogs have had a quick side out each time they've given up a point, not allowing the Knights to really get in any rhythm yet. Hold a 4-point advantage here in game 2. And the serve. Spike attempt, and it's a beauty by the Knights. That was number 16, the responsible player for the 5-point flurry in game 1. Number 11 set to serve now for the Knights, and it is 8-5. Bulldog advantage. And that serve was a missile. Nice dig by Allen. And they're forced to dump it over. Bulldogs handle it out of bounds. Nope, they're going to get charged with the carry. And the Knights will take the benefit of that call and the point. 8-6. And jump serve, a missile to the back line. Handled by the Bulldogs, not well. Played off the net. Can they recover? They do. And that's a high serve. Handled well, but Bulldogs can't handle it. And that'll make it 8-7. Bulldogs coming off a 3-1 victory over East Providence. And that serve is just out. Bulldogs will take that break, 9-7. I think about 4 of those 7 points, 4 of the 8 points the Bulldogs have are service errors on the part of the Knights. And waiting for a whistle. There it is. And here we go, the lefty serve. High set, spike, back line handled by Allen. The Bulldogs bump it over. And have to recover, are able to. And the Bulldogs put it up for him, and they put it down. Mendiola returns it at the net, trying to get caught sleeping. And put down by the Knights. Number 16. And again, the crowd that is here from Central is excited. A little more animation out of the Knights here tonight on both ends. And off the net, the little breaks going their way at the moment, and the Bulldogs were able to recover. And again, a huge spike opportunity, block opportunity goes out of bounds, and the Knights take the point. And now knotted it up at 9. And that one's going to go into the net. The Bulldogs will take it again. Again, I think that's like point number 5. And we'll get a substitution. Kenyon will head back in as Allen set to serve for the Bulldogs. And that spike attempt by the Knights. Bulldogs can't handle it. I'll tell you what, this is an athletic Knight team. They can get off good kill attempts from several different areas, different players. Get off nice sets from all over the court. So far, they've proven that from the start of things here tonight. And again, the Bulldogs with a beautiful save there after a nice serve. Knights able to get into their offense. Mendy's set. Spike attempt, a beauty. And the Bulldogs take it and knock things back up at 10. Or 10 to 10 here. Mendiola serving. And the Bulldogs trailing 1-0 here in this best of 5er. And I handled well. That's an ace as he drops in a little teardrop. And the Bulldogs take the lead back 11 to 10. And the Knights again can't handle the serve. And the Bulldogs, well, they can't. I thought that was 4 hits, and I think again this official is bewildered and confused in front of us. The Knights are admitting to 4 hits. They know they hit it 4 times. How do the officials not? And it's not the first time here this evening. So the Bulldogs will take the point. And the 13-10 lead. And a whistle and a point before anything even possibly got started. I don't think all the Central Night players were on the playing floor. And again, the Bulldogs will take it. So you take that error with the 5 service errors or so, and you're putting together a nice little lump of points, and there's your Bulldog advantage and then some. And Spike, the Bulldogs can't dig it out from the top, and the Knights take it right back. 14-11 here. The Bulldogs have the lead in game number 2. And that one is put down. Nice diving return. No, Bulldogs will take the point. Quick whistle again. Bulldogs set to serve with a 4-point advantage here. Looking to knot this thing up at 1-1. And the serve, spike attempt. Nice dig by the Bulldogs. Set at the top of the screen, blocked, turned one-handed. And 2 hits there. Bulldogs will definitely take that one. 16-11 as they slide the advantage a little bit further. Another point or so, and you'll see a timeout from the Knights, one would imagine. We're in the final third of the season. There's no more see if you play through it type situations. If there's a problem, you kind of solve them immediately now. And the Bulldogs with a nice return there. Nice dig by Allen. And forced to decide where did it land. Out of bounds. Again, the official looked to the right, further away to get the ball. Good eye by the Bulldogs, Mendiola. And he takes the point, as you see in the replay. Live in fast action, and as I thought, the Knights call a timeout as the Bulldogs get that 6-point advantage, 17-11 here in game number 2. So the Bulldogs respond and react quickly after the game 1 loss. Need 8 more to even this thing up, and you'd expect nothing less if the first game was any idea how this thing's going to go. After this, the Bulldogs have a couple days off, 3 to be exact, and then they head to West Warwick. West Warwick's not having a great year. So the Bulldogs, like I said, this is just a big, big game. Where it falls in their schedule, who the upcoming opponents are, because the next couple are struggling, and then they head into Barrington, Cranston, West back-to-back. And that's not going to be easy. So that's why you're staying the here and now. And this team does a good job of it, because first game, obviously, hadn't worn into the second game at all. Bulldogs jumped right out 3-0. And stayed on it, and that's going to be an ace out of the timeout, maybe. Oh, they somehow acrobatically return it. Wow, that was a nice job by the Knights. They've been doing things like that all night, and they get the reward and the point as the Bulldogs fly deep with their return. So that was one heck of a return. 17-12 now the score. This Knight team has showed their athleticism and their speed. There's no question about that. Allen from the back. And the Knights can't handle it. Nice play at the net by Kenyon, and the Bulldogs will take the point. 18-12. They inch closer to 25. And the serve. Spike attempt. Bulldogs can't handle it. Nice answer right back. Get it back, 18-13 to score. Salwa Jerry Field, the site of two lacrosse teams that are having one heck of a season as well. Playoff bound. Mendiola, ball slips, and the Knights are going to get it. The boys team sits in first place at the moment. They're on the road tomorrow. And the girls team not far off in like second or third, having a good year. And that served the Bulldogs. Communication between the officials. Knights are going to get the point. I'm unhappy with the officiating. Their communication is not well. I mean, this official threw her hands up and asking the fans to be quiet so she can communicate is not the way it needs to be. That would take away essentially any home court advantage, and that's not what it's about. And the block by the Knights, and the Bulldogs can't recover. Point after that little mess by the officials is going to go over to the Knights. I am unimpressed. And again, further discussion. I mean, this game is done by hand signals. The crowd is irrelevant. And the Knights, to miss hit, aren't able to finish, and the Bulldogs will get the side out and the point. 19-16. Now it should get to 20. They finally award it. No, 19 is instead. And from the top, tips, and the Bulldogs set at the bottom here. Spike attempt blocked. Still alive though, and they're able to recover. Yes, they are. Off the net, the let were great volley by the Bulldogs, and that's point number 20. 20-16. That gets them a little bit fired up here tonight. And the serve. And blocked at the net, and that's point number 21 for the Dogs. Puts them up by 5. And at the net, nice spike by the Knights. That's a tough one. They've had several here tonight. Put down with authority. They can jump. You can't judge by their height because they'd have to go hop some of them. And number 11 set to serve, 21-17, still anyone's. Bulldogs have worked hard for this one. And the ace in front of the back line, 21-18. And serve, and that one just clears the net. That was a heck of a serve handled by Allen. But it falls on the side of the Bulldogs, and Weston's going to get the point. The Knights touch the net. They're not unhappy with it. Bulldogs will absolutely take it, 22-18. And the lefty serve. The set. Spike attempt. And a miss hit by the Bulldogs middle, and that's going to give the side out. And it's still life here. Bulldogs will let the edge a little closer to 25, 22-19 the score here. And number 16, the culprit last game. But we've forgotten about that, I remember. And the serve. Into the net it goes. The break the Bulldogs are going to absolutely take. I was going to say needed, but they certainly didn't need it. 23-19. What they do need is 2 more to even this thing up. And the serve. Not quite as clean this night team here in the second game, but especially now. And that spike goes down by the Bulldogs. 24 game point to 19. And the Knights need 5 in a row to stay alive here in game 2. 1 more for the Bulldogs, and that'll even things up at 1-1. Allen tries to close things out for the Bulldogs here in game 2. And again, they're sloppier here, the Knights. Trying to push to the back line, Allen's there. Set. Kenyon tries to end here in game 2 again, taking up. And the Knights can't recover. This is going to go to the Bulldogs. No after effects from game 1. They bounce back in game 2, 25-19 the final. 2 games in the books. Westerly 1, the Knights 1. This turns into a best of 3 series now, folks. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back for game 3.
No.
And here we go, back on the playing surface. The Bulldogs bounce right back after game one for a solid 25-19 game two victory. We are now even at one, so pretty much scratch them, throw them away. This is much like their first matchup earlier this season. It went the distance. I don't see tonight going much differently, folks, let me tell you. It's going to go a minimum of 4. We know that already. Central takes the court. I am the voice, Greg Morano, alongside producer, owner Shane Blanger. We have Lisa behind the lens. We are Westerly.live, Westerly.radio, bringing you Bulldog sports, heading into the final third of all the seasons, on to the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, do they play here? That's why these games right now are just so vital. Want to be here in Federico Gymnasium. Want to be over there at Algieri Field. Want to be at Similarity Field. Makes a huge difference. And these tough midweek games come back and matter so much. This is an impressive Central Knight team, I think, and this Bulldog team just puts it together, seemingly game in and game out. 9-2, hit the court 11 times. You got 9 wins. You're an impressive team. And Mendiola gets things started for the Bulldogs, and they're gonna have to dump it back over. That was a little bit of a mess to start. Out of bounds it goes. 1-0 Knights. Communication has been a minor issue for the Bulldogs. We've noticed it a few times. We've also noticed it on the part of the officiating, so maybe it's loud in there. And the serve to the back line. Bulldogs don't handle well, but they keep it alive. And the spike by Mendiola. Knights keep it alive. Knights' offense in transition was not nearly as good in game 2 as game 3. And handled by Kenyon. Called against Westerly, so the Knights get 2. We're doing nothing lead here in game 3. And that serve into the net. Again, that was an issue for the Knights. They all served quite impressively in game 1. They all have high velocity on their serves, they really do. All with that jump serve style pretty much. And that was an advantage of theirs in game 1, where it turned into a disadvantage in game 2. As, 6 or 7 went into the net. That one flies deep for the Bulldogs, and they can't recover. Point goes to the Knights side out, 3-1. This production brought to you in part by Valenti Subaru Sales and Service, located at Dunn's Corners in Westerly. Valenti means value. Over 90 years in the auto business, the Valenti family knows how to keep customers happy. Voted Retailer of the Year 2022 by Subaru of New England. That's Valenti Subaru. And we are off here at Federico Gymnasium, Bulldog Volleyball. And that one slips behind, and they're going to jump to a quick 4-1 lead, the Knights here. 2 games in the books. Bulldogs and Knights split. We got a timeout by the Bulldogs here early on in game 3. First time these two teams met. Went to the Central Knights, but not before a 5-game battle That included all four of the first game, both teams in their 20s. A lot of points scored that night in a final of 15-10 in the final game 5. Tonight, not much different as Coach Beal comes up with a strategy here for the Bulldogs. Pretty much this is just like a take a deep breath, momentum killing style call timeout. Bulldogs have a couple days, and they head to West Warwick. And like I said, a couple days off and then head to a struggling West Warwick team, although you've got to bring it every night because those are the teams that love to play spoiler that can really disrupt the season. But to springboard off a win like this tonight would make it all that much sweeter for the Bulldogs. A lot more volleyball to be played here, I have a feeling tonight. The serve, handled by Allen. Mendiola Canyon finds the spot, soft play, and that'll make it 4-2. Bulldogs set to serve here. And that one drops in front. Knights can't recover, and that's a Bulldog point. I'm hesitant to call it out. I got caught twice here tonight with some acrobatic recoveries. And the Bulldogs serve. And a little miscommunication out of bounds. Bulldogs takes it. Now even things up at 4. And serve to the back line. To the top, that's a Spike's nice spot. And that'll be a side out and a point for the Knights. And they'll take the 1 point advantage. And this obviously the swing game. Winner of this one has their little bit of insurance room. You can either clinch it, close the door in game 4, or you have that little bit of insurance. You can back into game 5. Big game, nevertheless. And out of bounds, Bulldogs can't handle the serve. Knights take it, 2 point advantage here in game 3. And the serve into the net. Bulldogs take it before the Knights get on to any kind of a run. They kill it themselves, and that's a 6-5. Score now for Kenyon. Set to serve for the Bulldogs. And that one drops into the black line for the Knights. Spike attempt top of the screen, tip Bulldogs. Mendiola set to the bottom, spike. And that's a beautiful spot. Nice spike by the Bulldogs. Side out point, evened up at 6. Talk about even squads, I'll tell you right now. And brought back by the Knights to the back line of the Bulldogs. Set. And avoiding each other late. Knights handled by Mendiola. Knights put it down over the net, and Kenyon keeps it alive. Beautiful job. The Knights kick it backwards, and the Kenyon sniper style puts it right back after that fantastic kick over his head. Kenyon puts it right back at number 4 with a Bulldog point, and they will take the lead. And their spike attempt's going to fly deep. Bulldogs will take another 8-6. And the Bulldogs sit 2 games ahead of the Knights right now. And if they win this, obviously it puts them 3 games ahead. But it prevents the Knights from having that head-to-head tiebreaker, so it gives them the tiebreaker. Again, that will come back, and that will determine, do they play at Federico Gymnasium a couple times, or who do they play? How good are they? A lot of things. And a beautiful serve. Teardrop drops in, and the Bulldogs have built up a 4-point advantage and forced a central timeout. And that's always a big deal when you force a team's timeout. That shows you that that team is reeling. That confirms that you have momentum and they need to make an adjustment. Central timeout. Bulldogs have a 10-6 lead. If you're just joining us, folks, 2 games are in the book, split 1-1. First time these 2 teams met, it went the distance. It's back and forth here tonight. I don't see much different out of tonight. This production brought to you in part by Kiefer Martial Arts, Kids Karate, 2 free weeks and a free uniform. Exclusive offer for Westerly Live viewers. Use coupon code Westerly Live at checkout on KieferMartialArts.com. Boys break the huddle, take the court. Little jump in their step as they've scored 5 in a row now. Well, 5 out of the last 6. And the serve to the back, handled late, and off the basketball hoop and dumped back over. Bulldogs return. Spike blocked by the Bulldogs, back over. Bulldogs handle it. And try to get a little fancy. Rolled off, side out of the timeout. Makes the timeout a success for the Knights. 10-7, Bulldog lead. As we approach the midway point here, now for the Bulldogs in game 3. And waiting on a whistle on the court as we don't know what this official is waiting on, but she's happy now, so we're good. Been some communication issues with the near side official here tonight. Not sure what they are, but there's a live play on the court that she's not calling live. I never heard a whistle. There's the whistle we're looking for. 10-7, Bulldogs lead. But that's enough. That's kind of stuff I don't like because that's enough to break a team's momentum. And Bulldogs try to block it. It drops between them and the net, and the Knights will take it. Just that, something like that can be enough. (10-8) to score. And that time it goes over the net. The let in favor of the Knights. 10-9. No team seems to be able to get separation. Obviously, that was the case when we were over at Central earlier in the year. Looking at the scores, looks like you couldn't have 12 or 14 more even volleyball players on the court at the same time between these 2 squads, or equally strength. In the league, however, Central having run into a couple problems on 2 more occasions, sitting here with 4 losses. Being Barrington, Cranston West, the Bulldogs, and they dropped 1 versus Lincoln. And the Bulldogs set. Spike attempt, got just enough of it, the Bulldogs in, it falls into a beautiful spot. 12-10, Bulldog lead. And try to drop it in. Central handles it. And Bulldogs can't handle that. Speed off the net it goes. Knights point. 12-11. You know, the net it goes. Bulldogs will take it, certainly. Knights haven't done it all that many times this game. That's only the second, I think. Tops 3, much different than last game. And the Bulldogs hold a 13-11 lead. And the Knights set at the net. Spike falls. Good offense by the Knights. Good finish by number 16, who's going to get set up to serve. He's been a problem on a couple occasions here tonight for the Bulldogs at the service position. Bulldogs with a 1-point lead at the midway point, and that one slips, turns into an ace, and that's going to knot it up at 13. And handled by the Bulldogs, not well, but that's going to be brought back off the rafters, and they can't This time the jump, can't return it. Sloppy all around. Knights will take it. It's essentially an ace, really. A long one. And that serve goes into the nets. And the Bulldogs take it. 14-14. Allen comes in to serve for the Bulldogs. And not handled well by the Knights at all. In fact, carry. And the Bulldogs will take the ace and the lead again, 15-14. And just over, beautiful serve by Allen. I was going to call an ace, but the Knights did it again. They've done it a few times. I have to go the length of the gym and return it. Bulldogs put it down this time, though, with authority. Grab the point and a 2-point advantage. Allen looking for another. Knuckleball. Set. Top of the screen. Spike handled by Allen, who goes over the net. And they don't handle it well. That's going to be a Bulldog point. 3-point lead. 17-14. Westerly. Allen with a nice serve. He's Mr. Dependable for this Bulldog team. He's the glue, and that one's a nice play by the Knights. Balls deep, and we have a complaint by Coach Beal to the head official. And she's animated out there, but it's not going to be entertained for much longer. There's the whistle, and here we go, 17-15. And the bump set put down. Oh, the kick save, and it's alive. And the Knights, after such a beautiful play, that's not the first time here tonight either, but after such a beautiful play, no one was waiting for it. Bulldogs take it, certainly, with a side out and the point. Well, that was an impressive little kick to me. Plenty of time for the Knights to have gotten under it. Anyway, 18-15, and Kenyon puts it down 19-15. Bulldogs here, forcing almost a timeout at the hands of the Knights coach. They hit the 20 spot here. I'm calling it for them. And Mendiola with the serve. And point for the Bulldogs. Net play has been back and forth all night long. I got to delay my calls because it's ricocheting back and forth so often. But the Bulldogs get that 20th point, and Central calls that timeout. Scripted, folks, it pretty much is. What's not scripted is this last 5 points for the Bulldogs, but a 5-point advantage here. And this is the turning game here, game number 3. Winner can put things away in game number 4, or worst case scenario, game number 5. Again, we see the officials communicating or trying to better communicate. They don't always come in pairs that have worked together in the past. There's reasons for whatever, but unfortunately, at the back half of the season and into the playoffs, there's really no room for error on the part of the players or the officials or the coaches or anyone involved. Really, there's too much time put in. Here we go, the Bulldogs 5-point lead, and we're waiting for that official 5 seconds to run off the clock. And now we should hear a whistle. Coach Beal still talking actually to the sideline official, and he is now talking to the scorer, communicating over here, and now we can serve. I don't know what exactly is the issue here tonight, but we're ready to play some more. 20-15. And that's almost an ace. I almost did it again. And the Bulldogs pressuring the Knights, but the Knights recover, and they get the point out of the timeout. Oh, no, they don't. The whistle goes to the Bulldogs. I missed the official. And the Bulldogs get that point. That's a big one. Always a big one out of the timeout, especially if you forced it. 6-point advantage. Mendiola drops it short. That's a little too cute. 21-16. Bulldogs got a 5-point advantage. Need only 4 to take the 2-1 lead and have a chance to clinch things here in the next one. The serve by the Knights out wide. Bulldogs take it right back. 22-16. And they may not look animated on the court, and they may not scream and holler here tonight. And maybe that's not their style overall, but they're effective. This Bulldog team just stays and stays and stays. And the serve. Again, this offense by the Knights has not been able to get into a groove since game one. Point goes to the Bulldogs, 23-16. They only need 2 more here. And the serve. And that could be an ace, and they keep it alive, and they bring it back. They're forced to dump it, though. Then deal with the set. Top of the screen, White can't handle it. Westerly point with authority. Game point, and there's your excitement, folks. I don't think these guys aren't fired up. You don't come in 9-2 without emotion, let me tell you. Game point for the Bulldogs in this pivotal game 3 of redemption night here versus Central. It is up. Set low at the net. And this flies far, and the Bulldogs take game number 3 as we head into game 4. The Bulldogs, who dropped game number 1, take a 2-1 lead in this best game of 5 series and can close things out here in game 4. There's even some discussion with players and this official. That being said, the players are going to flip sides. We're going to take a little break, and the fireworks are going to pop off when we get back, folks.
Doesn't make her stay up later, does it? No? That time, starting on defense. Hey, Blue, finish it!
And here we go, folks. Game number 4 ahead. I am the voice, Greg Morano, alongside producer, owner, Shane Belanger. We have Lisa behind the lens, Westerly.live, Westerly.radio, bringing you Bulldog Volleyball, getting down to the nitty-gritty of the regular season, the final third of the season, playoffs on the line, opponents, who you're playing, where you're playing, all the big decisions come down to these games right here. The Bulldogs drop game number 1. And no problem responding game number 2 and 3. Hold a 2-1 lead. One of the Bulldogs' only 2 losses this season came at the hands of this very Central team. That went 5 games. Tonight has been just as close. It's an extremely athletic Central Knight team. Bulldogs on your left have that little insurance where this could go 5. However, they don't want to let that happen. They've won 2 games in a row. They want to ride the wave, end it. Then they have a few days off, and then they play a struggling West Warwick team. But like I said, now every team comes out for you. The spoilers at the bottom. Central 2 games behind the Bulldogs coming into tonight with 4 losses. The Bulldogs with 2. Cranston, West, and Barrington both have 1. And we are live, game number 4. Looking for win number 10 on the year, win number 8 in the league, and that point number 1 goes to this Bulldog team. So unshaken by game number 1. I'm so impressed by that. The coaching just never lets that opponent get enough momentum. Knows right when to break up play, who to have in, do it. Nice job by the Bulldogs there. I mean, this Central team got into a groove in game number 1. They were in a rhythm, and I was highly impressed. They brought that into game number 2 early, but the Bulldogs just staying at them have stymied it ever since. And they don't handle the serve well. The Knights are forced to dump it over to the back end deep, and the Bulldogs ahead 3-0 here in game number 4. And spike attempt, Bulldogs look to block, ricochet out of bounds. Knights will get the point, 3-1, and they will serve for the first time.
Let's go blue, 3 hits.
And Bulldogs trying to recover a missed hit in the middle, and that'll give Central their second point. The Knights sitting at 5-4 in the league with only 5 league wins. It's a little finicky. And the Bulldogs, nice job at the net. One-hander by Allen after a save by Kenyon. Knights able to return. Bulldogs keep it alive. And reverse tip by Kenyon. Again, the Knights alive but can't return it. Bulldogs take the point. 4-2. Four to 1, correction. Bulldogs set to serve here. And handled on the back. Set, spike attempt. And it is blocked. They're able to return it. Knights keep it alive. And their spike attempt this time, Bulldogs can't handle it. Man, that was a missile. And they're in sync as they were the first game and a half here tonight. They're a tough group of athletes to deal with, this Knight team. But the Bulldogs, let me tell you, they're in great shape, conditioning, absolutely never an issue, and I think it's actually an advantage of theirs. They just don't get tired, and I don't know if that's been an issue for the Knight team tonight or not, but it's definitely not been a negative issue for the Bulldogs. It never has been. And again, an acrobatic return by the Knights. Back set, spike by the Bulldogs. Blocked by the Knights, they'll take the point, 4-3. This production brought to you by the Wireless Zone, Westerly, authorized retailer, repair zone, cracked screen, new battery, we got you covered. Located next to Dunkin' at Dunn's Corners in Westerly, Wireless Zone. And the serve, we're knotted at 4 here. Back set, Raymond blocked at the net, and point goes to the Knights, and they take the first lead here in game number 4. They seem unfazed here. The Knights by the 2-1 deficit. I expected nothing less. And that one's going to fly far and deep and out of here, and the Bulldogs will take the point. Tied things up at 5. Kenyon set to serve for the Dogs. Back in action on Monday. And the serve, set, spike, call, in, point, Knights. And the serve handled by Allen. And to the net, Knights make sure it doesn't go over, they'll get the point. And it is 7-5 Central. If a game 5 is forced, it is shortened. It's a 15-point run by 2, and that goes ace. Bulldogs let it go. It lands in, and it is now a 7-6. 7-6 Central lead, and a timeout on the floor. 8-6 Central lead, and a timeout on the floor. Communication between the scorers and the officials has been quite difficult as well tonight. So it hasn't been just through us. And as we peek into the Knights huddle and their comeback strategy here tonight, hold a 2-point lead very early on in game 4. And Bulldogs looking to close things out. break the huddle and head back to the floor. Dropped game one, totally unfazed Westerly was. Took game number 2 and game number 3. Been a lot of net play tonight, back and forth, excellent net play. Jump serve, handle back line. Set by Mendiola, put down by the Bulldogs, but the Knights are able to return. And point goes to the Bulldogs, carry on the Knights. And they get what they wanted out of that timeout, so the timeout works. Bulldogs get the point. 8-7 is our score. Tyler Raymond set to serve, who is up for Athlete of the Week. Remember, folks, vote on the WesterlySun.com. He's already got 42% of the votes and goes to the net. Central will take that side out and give them a 2-point advantage. And the serve, handled by the Bulldogs. Put down, blocked by the Knights. The Bulldogs keep it alive, but a second hesitation. They're unable to make the return it, and it's 10-7 Knights. And that one's going into the net. Unable to give themselves a chance to gain much momentum. That has been an issue all night. Service faults into the net. They've gotten a few aces, but I don't think the pros are worth the cons, and they haven't gotten enough to give up as many into the net as they have. Spike attempt, soft spike into the mid zone by the Knights, and the point to the Bulldogs as the Knights are unprepared. She blew an early whistle as well. I don't even think the Knight return off the serve was legal. So 10-9. The lefty serve to the top. Set from way back, spike attempt, and that one falls in bounds. That's a beauty. Knight's going to take the side out and the point. 11-9, 2-point advantage. Number 16 set to serve for Central. There's his whistle. And brought right back over by the Bulldogs. Back set with a beauty, and that's going to be tipped by Allen. Point for the Knights, and that'll give them a 3-point advantage in the first half of game number 4. And that's served, handled by the back line by Allen. And a block at the net by Central forces the Bulldogs. And the Knights save what might have been out of bounds. And they fire one out. Bulldogs will take that, absolutely. And then Knights are capable of putting down some lasers. Bulldogs unfazed, take the side out, trailed by only 2. In what could be a clinching game 4 if the Bulldogs are on the winning end. Do or die for the Knights, ace for the Bulldogs, Allen, and they'll take it, 12-11. We approach midway point through this game 4. 2-1 advantage by the Bulldogs. They next play on Monday against West Warwick. And spiked by Central. Bulldogs can't handle it. Quick side out. Bring it back up to a 2-point lead, 13-12. 13-11. And the jump serve. Out of bounds. Bulldogs will take the point. Again, another service error. Bulldogs take it, 13-12. Serve right back over, and Kenyon puts it down, makes them pay for their mistake, and that'll knock things up at 13 as we are now in the back half of game number 4, which could be the 10th win of the season for this Bulldog squad. And spike attempt by the Knights, and that falls in bounds. Better view of them over there, and it is in without argument. 14-13 Central. And the jump serve and a beauty. That's an ace by the Knights. Tipped by the Bulldogs, 15-13.
Hey, side out, blue, come on.
Handled by the Bulldogs. Allen returns it. Set by the Knights. Bulldogs handle it. And the Knights can't at the net. Point goes to the Bulldogs, 15-14. We are right down to it now, folks. Game number 4, if you're just joining us, Federico Gymnasium. Bulldogs redemption game, revenge game, whatever you want to call it, versus Central. One of their 2 losses. We are in game number 4. Thing went the distance, 5 games the first time they met. Bulldogs have a 2-1 advantage. Trail 15-14 here in game number 4. Nice play by the Knights. Knights are an athletic fall without a doubt. And blocked by the Knights at the net. Point's going to go to the Knights, 16-14. Bulldogs, as I said earlier, sit behind Barrington and Cranston West, who both have only 1 loss. Cranston West's 1 loss was to the Bulldogs. So it's all just in seeding down the road where this game comes into effect. Set by the Bulldogs. Put to the back line, spike it down by the Knights into the net, and Bulldogs take the point and the side out. Bulldogs have a 3-day break, 3-day weekend, and they get back at it Monday, so they'll enjoy their weekend much, much more if they can get this bounce back victory versus Central. Into the net it goes. They give it right back to Central, 17-15. Back and forth we go as we inch our way closer to the magic number, which goes from 25-15 if Central can come away with this one. Set by Mendiola on the screen, and that's going to be a Bulldog point. Right out, 17-16.
Blue, get some momentum.
And to the back line, handled by the Knights. Near the net, spike attempt from the bottom. Bulldogs can't handle it. Quick slide out. We are literally going back and forth, point for point. 18-16. Inching ever so closer to that number. And that's the beauty of a serve, and the Bulldogs able to turn it. And Kenyon blocks it at the net. Correct, that wasn't Kenyon, number 18 for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs get that side out, right back at them, trail only by 1. Back and forth we go. Twin substitution for the Bulldogs. The lefty serve, and that the let off the net. The Bulldogs take it. Ties 18-18. A race to 7. Win by 2 here. And a timeout on the floor by the Central Knights. We are right down to it, and there is no more room for either team to allow a run by their opponent. Heading to 25, win by 2. If you're in blue, you can clinch it and call it a night here. Take 3 days off. Girls lacrosse in action as well tonight on the road. Boys lacrosse tomorrow night. Tune in Westerly.live for the Hall of Fame banquet tomorrow night if you so choose. I'll be on the road watching the boys lacrosse team as a fan, which will be interesting and quiet. And the boys break the huddle and look to close things out, 18-18. And these are 2 evenly matched teams. Although a win tonight really does give the Bulldogs a little bit of insurance space between them. They're both going to go to the playoffs. And at the net, the Bulldogs try to block out of the timeout. The Knights take the point and the 1-point lead. Number 16 set to serve for Central. And just over the net, beautiful dig by the Bulldogs, able to return it. But the Knights able to get into their offense, and they hammer it down for the point and the 2-point lead. That was a laser. Was that in? Yes, the call is in. And now they're going to communicate about that call. This is ridiculous tonight. It looks to be out. Tough angle we're going to see here. It looks to be in maybe. But either way, the officials should know how to communicate with whatever's going on. This isn't early in the season. And the Knights are going to get the point here, and they're going to move forward. I think the head official had it right. I'm not saying they got it wrong here. But you still need to be able to communicate and let the game go on uninterrupted. And the Bulldogs will dump it over. And the Knights try to do the same. Nice set by the Bulldogs. And they put it to the back line. Good volley back and forth here. And the Bulldogs are going to get the benefit of the whistle. So the infraction is irrelevant. 20-19 here, the Bulldogs, before the Knights can go on any kind of a run. Substitution, and Allen will serve for the Bulldogs. Handled by the Knights. Bulldogs dig it out, and they try to catch him sleeping and do. Nice put down by Mendiola. And a little excitement on the side of the Bulldogs there. Knotted at 20, a race to 5. Win by 2 in this game 4. Possible clinching game for the Bulldogs. The serve by Allen. Spike. Attempt by the Knights. Bulldogs can't handle it, and the Knights will get a side out and take the 1-point advantage. 21-20. Knights serve number 4. And the serve, the Bulldogs don't handle the ace. 22-20. And the Bulldogs are forced to call the timeout. This time 22-20. Holy smokes, what a volleyball game we had on hand for you. All the numbers said it was going to be this way. It's played out to be this way. I have a feeling they may meet up again in the postseason. And who knows? This is what I mean. This game here tonight could determine where. You never know. When you're at this point in a season, it's a flurry in the next 2 weeks with every sport, boys and girls across, baseball, softball, and volleyball games almost every night. That means so much. And the Bulldogs break the huddle, take the floor. As does Central. Bulldogs trail 22-20. Knights will serve. And the serve is off the net. Can the Bulldogs get it over? They do. And they force a miscommunication on the side of the Knights. Nice play, nice volley by the Bulldogs, who were patient and allowed to play it off the net twice and get the return and immediately force the Central timeout before the Bulldogs can get any kind of momentum, because that will frustrate the player, certainly. If I was on the Knights side, I'd be frustrated by that too. The acrobatic return and a beauty. The point goes to the Bulldogs out of the timeout. 22-21, Central has the slight advantage here. We have a race to 25, win by 2. The Bulldogs are up 2 games to 1, looking to put this thing away. On a Thursday night, find me something better to do, folks, than this. The serve by the Bulldogs, Mendiola. And the spike attempt by the Knights flies. And they get the point out of the timeout, the proverbial point out of the timeout that I love so much. And it's 22-22, a race to 3. And the serve, the teardrop. Set back a little further. They wanted it, it's blocked by the Bulldogs. 23-22, and the bench erupts. The Bulldogs need 2 more here to close this out. and get the revenge that they came in here tonight seeking. The serve just over the net of beauty comes right back to him. Handled, set by Mendiola, and Kenyon gets it over to the Knights back line, and they're going to push it back to the back line of Bremen. Returns it. Spike attempt flies wide by the Knights. Game point, match point for the Bulldogs. The Knights need 2 more, and they need them immediately, or the Bulldogs win the match and give them a 3-game lead ahead of the nearest team, behind them, that is, and the bump. They're going to have to just dump it over, and they do. Bulldogs don't want to give them another chance. They try to catch him sleeping. They're off the backboard, and they are unable to return it after losing game number 1, after losing match number 1 to Central in 5 games, and then coming home and losing game number 1. The Bulldogs shake it off completely, bounce back, take game number 2, game number 3, and game number 4 in impressive fashion, and take tonight's match versus Central. They improve their overall record to 10-2. They improve their league record to 8-2, only 1 game behind the first place team, and now 3 games ahead of the nearest Central Knights. We are Westerly.live, Westerly.radio, bringing it to you, folks. This program is brought to you in part by Wireless Zone, Valenti Subaru, Kiefer Martial Arts, Coastal Graphics, Remy's Cycle, Teddy's Toys, McQuaid's Ace Hardware, and Nancy Siciliano of Oceanfront Homes. I am the voice, Greg Moreno. Tune in tomorrow night for the Hall of Fame banquet. You'll hear more from me Monday night, folks. Signing off.